saw it somewhere.
It's not there.
Okay, 15 minutes until the curtain goes up. Break a leg.
Thank you, 15.
Yeah, I'll go find it. Has anyone seen the blue light filter? We need it for the opening.
How do I look?
Hey, where did you get that? Never mind, hand it over.
I found it on the table. Carelessly thrown.
Carelessly thrown what? Give me that.
Is everybody done? Nobody needs any extra eyeliner? Great.
Actually, I don't have anything yet. I've been too busy getting into character.
Why weren't you in the makeup room when we called 45 minutes ago?
I thought that was for a little meeting or something, you know. Everyone has their pre-show ritual.
Not makeup crew.
Sorry.
It's fine. Stay here. Sit down. I'll go get my kids.
Has anyone seen the stage manager anywhere?
No, I don't know why everyone's so frantic with these incessant questions.
She's missing. I can't find her anywhere. How can I be an assistant stage manager if there's no stage manager? I'm out of a job.
I'm pretty sure if there's no stage manager, you become the stage manager.
I can't be stage manager.
But you're the assistant stage manager.
Yeah, assistant. I know how to get coffee and take notes.
Is that not what a stage manager does?
Oh yeah, do you know where the stage manager is? The show's starting soon.
He's just freaking out a bit, but it's alright because I'm here to help.
We go on in 12 minutes. What am I going to do?
Sit down.
Okay, what would a stage manager do? They make sure everyone's ready. Does everyone have hair and makeup?
Obviously not. Can you sit still?
Okay, Babo, the light's ready. Okay, Liz, is the set ready? Are the props on the props table?
Does this count as a prop?
Where did you get that?
I found it on a table. Carelessly thrown askew.
Nothing is carelessly thrown askew. Just don't touch anything, alright?
You would have sworn someone said the Scottish flag.
Sorry?
The Scottish flag, if you say it, it's bad luck.
Well, you just said it. Isn't that bad luck?
No, the name of the Scottish flag.
Fine. What's the name of the Scottish play then?
If I tell you, you'll say it.
No, I won't. I don't understand theatre lingo. Hold still.
Doesn't matter. We're in a theatre, and I will respect this space.
What if I accidentally say it without even knowing it? Write it down for me.
No, just don't even think about it. It's bad luck. One time I did a show and someone said it during warm-ups. It started raining. You couldn't hear a thing.
Fine, I'll search it up then.
Very well. Theatre gods, I'm so sorry for disgracing this sacred space.
Okay, so I can't say
Oh! Don't say it.
Sorry.
So, how'd you get into hair and makeup?
Work experience.
Oh, that's fun.
Hey, is that another carelessly thrown askew prop?
Nothing's carelessly thrown askew.
Possibly.
I bet all the backstage people love you.
So I've just found out that a whole bunch of props are missing.
There were just so many that were carelessly thrown askew. I'm trying to put them in the right place.
You mean the props? You took props from the props table to give to me. You have the missing props. You took them from the props table so I can put them back on the props table.
10-minute call.
Thank you, Ted. Where are the other props?
What other props?
The other props. The other props missing from the props table.
I'll find them for you.
Hey, no, I need sudden makeup.
Fine, I'll find them. Make sure you finish up quickly though. I still gotta make sure Emily set up the camera and Lochie knows what he's doing with the sound.
You should probably tell them where the other props are. Or you could tell me. Why not?
Yeah, can you make sure presets on stage, please? Oh, great, I'm another vote for it.
Oh, right. What's that?
Here, now tell me where those props are.
This is chamomile tea. I don't drink this type.
What?
I'm just saying that as a stage manager, you should know the cast and their personalities and preferences.
I don't care. Where are the other props?
Where's good tea?
Where did this come
Okay,
from?
firstly, give me that. Secondly, stop taking the props. I'm not sure if you know, but we need the props for the show not to go terribly.
And I'm pretty sure we need a good stage manager for this show to not go terribly, and I don't see one. You don't blame me for your terrible stage management and lack of good tea.
Hey, I don't buy tea, I don't drink tea. I was handed that by someone and I'm not even sure if they're in the show. Anyway, I need those props now.
How dare you give me street tea? This could be dangerous. This could have oil or
Milk or something. Tell me where the props are or cancel the show.
you wouldn't.
I can and I will. I'm stage manager now. I hold all the power.
But you...
That's enough. We have like 2 minutes until beginners. So I suggest we stop hiding props, start making sure there aren't random people backstage, and do some breathing exercises. All right?
Okay.
Great. Let's do it now. Breathe in for 4. And out. Lovely. All right. Props. Where are they?
They're in a box in the dressing room.
Thank you.
5-minute call.
Thank you. I'm going to set the table. You finish your makeup. Beginners.
Okay, let's just do some blush.
I need the fog machine ready to go for the first scene.
Not too much. I don't want to look like a clown.
Babo, have you got the lights ready?
Sit still or you will.
Clear the stage. Curtains have to go up.
Just one last touch.
30 seconds, people. Let's get moving.
Okay, that's enough. Go.
Lights in 3, 2, 1. Curtains.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Green Oak Theatre's production of Play Me Something. We are performing on the lands that were stolen from the Ngunnawal, Ngunnawal and Ngambri peoples. Just as stories have been shared on these lands for countless generations, we share stories with you today. Please make sure that your phones are turned on silent and note that no food or drink is allowed in the theatre. Thank you for coming, and we hope you enjoy the show.
The woman outside, she told me to come in.
Ah, yes. Miss Miller, is it? I'm Professor Turner. Please, take a seat.
She told my client to wait outside.
Yes, I asked her to do that. I hoped we could have a discussion before the meeting. It might make things a little easier to resolve.
She was quite rude to him.
Ah, that doesn't sound like Janet at all. She's usually... Well, normally she's... On occasion, she's nice. Okay, what did she say?
It wasn't what she said. It was the way she looked at him, like he was a freak.
Well, to be fair, he is different.
And there you have it. Prejudice always drips down from the top.
I resent that, Miss Miller. I'm not prejudiced, and nor is this university.
If that were true, Professor, we wouldn't be having this meeting.
No, we are having this meeting because of this complaint that your client put in regarding our employment practices. I was not offered a position as head of drama due to a culture of discrimination that pervades the School of Arts and excluded me for consideration based on my physical appearance. Ridiculous. The department is open to all, and it will be so long as I am the dean. Mr. Oliver was simply not suitable.
Sir Harry Oliver is one of the world's most accomplished actors.
Well, he was, until the accident.
And that's the point. What happened to him was not his fault, yet despite his obvious qualifications, you didn't even bother interviewing him.
The selection committee merely felt...
The selection committee didn't want to be in the same room as him. That's it, isn't it? Okay. Look, I don't feel comfortable having this meeting without my client being present.
Very well. Bring him in.
Harry, can you come in, please?
Hello, Mr. Oliver. Please take a seat. Would you like some water? Coffee?
Let's not waste time on niceties. Our position is very simple, Professor. We contend that Sir Harry was excluded from consideration on the basis of his physical appearance. I doubt there's a more qualified candidate in the country.
But he's a zombie!
It's all right, Harry. I think you've just made our case for us, Professor.
No, you missed the point, Miss Miller. It's not about his appearance. It's about his ability to fulfill the functions of the position. I mean, is he even capable of delivering a loss? I'm so sorry. What did he say?
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. Look,
word that he says.
A horse, my kingdom for a horse. Harry identifies strongly with Richard III.
Yes, I understand.
I doubt that very much, Professor. Harry and his community face prejudice on a daily basis. Children scream when they see him. The man's never had a moment's peace at Halloween, and restaurants once opened their doors for him, and are suddenly booked out when he tries to make a reservation. I mean, last month some idiot tried to hammer a wooden stake into his heart. That's vampires, for goodness sake. And now this. A university refusing to employ him.
We did not refuse to employ him, Miss Miller. The selection committee merely felt that there were better applicants.
Better applicants?
I take exception to your tone, Miss Miller, and yours, Mr. Oliver. Mr. Miles is a very accomplished actor, and frankly, we are lucky to have him. I mean, the man has been on television for nearly 30 years.
In a soap opera.
In a very well-respected soap opera. And I bet that more of our students have seen it than King Lear.
Another reason to employ Sir Harry. Your students should be able to quote Shakespeare, not neighbours.
Okay, what now?
Is this a dagger which I see before me?
Is that a threat?
It's the Scottish play, really. What do you teach in your drama department?
I know that it's the Scottish play. Look, I was merely talking about the context.
Look, Harry appreciates that some people may have trouble understanding the way he communicates, but he is working on improving that. We still all have to make an effort, okay?
Look, it's not just that, it's the other thing.
What?
The eating brains thing.
Really?
Yes, okay. I can't ignore that that Mr. Oliver eats brains. Look, the university has a duty of care to its staff and its students, and I would be remiss to forget about that.
His diet is not a legal basis for excluding him from consideration. Besides, most of that is Hollywood hype.
Oh, okay, so he doesn't eat brains?
On special occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, that sort of thing. Can we cut to the chase? You and I both know that since you've already filled the position, your only option is compensation.
That is not our only option, Miss Miller.
Come on, Professor. The university doesn't want an ugly court case. So let's talk numbers.
Very well. The university has authorized me to offer Mr. Oliver the following settlement of $25,000, provided that he dropped the matter entirely.
70,000.
Don't be ridiculous. 50.
Done.
Wonderful. Well, I'll just need Mr. Oliver to sign these papers. Stuff. Oh, okay. Yes, so just sign. I hate to point this out, but you're not actually using the pen, the lid's still on it and everything. Maybe your eyes aren't quite what they used to be. They're our first thing to decompose. Yes, well, our finance officer will be in charge to arrange a transfer of everything. And Janet will be able to show you out of the building. Make sure that you are all seen and escorted out.
It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Yes, and you. Okay. Wait, Sir Harry, I just wanted to say that, you know, I saw you once, doing Richard at the Royal. You were magnificent. Now was the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York. Yes, quite. No, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. You can say that. Hope you have a lovely day. Try not to die again, although I'm sure dying isn't something you're worried about these days. Have a wonderful time.
That went better than we expected. Look, our meeting with the minister is at 2, and I'm expecting a 6-figure offer from her. It's an election year, and she won't want to lose any of the Walking Dead votes. We could grab some lunch while we're waiting. What do you feel like?
Is this a dagger, which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind? False creation proceeding from a heat-oppressed brain. I see thee yet, in a form as palpable as this which I now draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made fools o'er the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee yet, and on thy blade am touching counter blood, which were not so before. There is no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Past thy threat, he lives. Words the heat of deed too cold breath gives. I go. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is now that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Bryn Jones, do we? I've been a miner here in Aberfan for 20 years, though. Most of the men in the village join the mines when they leave school, around 16 or 18.
Owen Davies, do we? I retired from mining after 40 years underground, and now I work as the school caretaker. We rely on the National Coal Board for our livelihood round here, and they're good to us, by and large.
What happens when you're mining is you create all this coal waste, coal dust and rocks and the like, and you have to do something with it. So we pile it up on top of the hill by the colliery. It's called a tip.
There were 7 tips at Bavinton, the last one being the largest. In 1966, there weren't really any rules about the size of the tips. Not yet, anyway.
Gareth Roberts, we can see tip number 7 at the top of the hill, getting larger every day. When me and the lads finish work at the station, we go down to the pub and have a joke about it. A heavy rain will be in the pub with us. Any large would block out the sun. You know, jokes like that.
Oh, what a price, Dweeb. It's a horrible monstrosity afflicting our landscape. My husband's a miner, and without his job, we've got no house, no clothes, no food. So we're grateful for the work, but that tip is dangerous.
Alys, Gwent, Dweeb. I teach at Pangloss Senior School. We're at the bottom of the hill. There is an embankment protecting us, but still, sometimes I wonder, what if the tip came down on us?
I'm Catherine Stewart, the local English doctor. The NCB mostly only had safety regulations for below ground, not above. They said they'd make some inspections, but to my knowledge, that never happened.
We wrote them letters. We rang them up, but they ignored us.
They knew our children were in danger.
They didn't consider our safety.
We had our jobs to think about, our families to feed.
We were just poor Welsh miners, and they were one of the most powerful companies in Britain.
We thought they would look after us, so we just waited.
And
then it was too late. Thomas, did you pack your books?
It's the last day of term, ma'am. Do I really have to go?
Don't be silly, Cutler. It's only a half day and then you can come home for lunch. Can I go to Dafydd's later? Only after you've eaten. Go on now or you'll be late. Oh, did you pack your poem?
Yes, ma'am.
Dion. Walk carefully in the rain, alright? It's been getting worse all week.
Yes, ma'am.
Later.
Dafydd, did you watch Blue Peter last night?
No, ma'am wanted to watch the new again.
Yeah, it was so boring. So I should have said
Oh, sorry.
Yes, and more, Dafydd. What are you doing?
Just seeing how far I can skid in the
I
rain.
bet I can see it farther than you.
You, Gwen Jones, are the laziest rat I've ever seen in my life. I doubt you can skid 2 feet.
How do you get him?
What would your tad say if you caught you using that language, little Gwenny bach?
Can we grab you, Dafydd? Come on, Gwen. Let's take this forward. I can't do when you jump away.
Dafydd, ma'am says I can come over after lunch.
Bring your rugby book. I've got new plans to add.
Speaking of books, your bag looks empty.
Oh, yes, you may. I knew I forgot something. I better run home and get it then.
You'll be late to school again.
Please don't tell her, ma'am. She'll kill me.
It's 9:15 a.m., 21st of October, 1966. I'm up at the tip. It's been raining all week, and there's been reports of a depression, a hole in the top of tip number 7. We get them from time to time, just small ones here and there. But this one, it's enormous, like the entrance to a cave. I'm standing at the edge of the depression, looking down into it, when the impossible happens. It starts to rise, slowly at first, but then faster and faster until it turns itself into a wave, breaks free of the tip, and flies down the mountain towards Aberfan village. This glistening black wall of rock, water, and mud, traveling at 20 miles an hour down the hill. We have no telephone to raise the alarm. There is nothing we can do. So we just run down to the village and pray.
Alright, everyone settle down. The register's done, so we can continue with our poems. Who wants to go next? Thomas?
Yes, Miss Gwent?
Come read your poem to the class. Well, what's it about?
It's about the mountains, miss.
Dion. Read it out then.
The Mountain by Thomas Price. I am the mountain is me. I hold all the magic of the land that I see. I store all the memories of poets and kings and join in the song that every bard sings. In my heart is the river, my back is the peak. I listen to the language that my people speak. But now the menfolk, they all break my back with spades and with picks and unwanted attack. They carve out my heart and they dig out my soul. They poison my veins and think not of the toll. They speak a strange tongue and block out my sight. They all think me weak, but one day I will.
What's that? It sounds like a joke.
Miss, why is the ground shaking?
Yes,
Miss, what is that?
Getting closer. Miss, I'm scared.
I knew it, Dad! Miss!
What's going on?
What's happening? I can't feel my legs.
I can't breathe.
A tunnel! There's a tunnel out in the rubble! Okay, everyone. You know what to do. We're having a fire drill. Everybody out this way, quickly and quietly now.
I come around the corner and I see what would become the famous picture of the school. There was nothing, just this silence. From an old classroom full of echoes and sounds, there was nothing at all. All I could hear was this deadness. In the silence, you could hear neither bird nor child.
Mr. Davies!
Oh, Mrs. Price, are you all right?
I thought it was another flood, but somebody said...
Yes. The tip has come down on the school.
Yes, he ma'am.
Line up, children.
Oh, Alice, where's Thomas?
I don't know, I'm sorry.
What? Thomas!
I can see some children stuck in the masonry. I'll go and get them out.
Look! There's a little girl on top of the water tank. It's alright, we'll get you down!
I'll get her next, Miss Gwent. I can see Miss Williams in the assembly hall. We're going to need to break the window to get her out.
Thomas!
Oh, Mrs. Price, you can't dig at it without tools. It's solid rock.
Well, where's your tool shed?
Under all this.
Then I'll dig till my hands bleed.
Oh, yes, Mom.
Oh, Bryn,
Mrs. Price, you need to stop.
I'm not stopping.
Yes, you are. All the spiders have just come down from the colliery to take over. We're in charge of this dig now.
Then my Thomas is in there.
So's my Gwen. You have every assurance that we will get the children out of here. We're not digging for coal anymore. We're digging to find our children.
Yes, no. It's everywhere. No wonder I couldn't get the station car through.
Sir, help, please.
Dafydd Huws?
Constable Roberts, please, you have to get me out. I'm gonna be late.
I'm coming, lad, I'm coming.
The water's getting higher.
I've got to go carefully.
Quick, it's getting onto my chest.
Come on. Oh, no, it's no use. You're too stuck. I can't get you out by myself. I'll go get help.
No, there isn't enough time.
It'll only be a few moments, lad. You'll be all right.
I'm gonna die, aren't I? Please, sir, I don't want to die.
Oh, let's try again. Come on. Come on. Oh. There. You're all right, Dafydd, lad.
How did you?
Oh, the grace of God, boy. The grace of God. Let's hope we can find more miracles like you.
Where am I? It must be a nightmare. I can't move. I can't feel my legs. I want my mum. Mum!
If you can hear me, if you can see daylight, try to move towards it. Try to call out. I can't see anything in this rubble. We need to know where you are.
I'm here!
I see you. Don't worry, we're coming. Oh, it's all right, Carrie. You're safe now. It's Bethan, isn't it?
I can't feel my legs.
Oh, it's okay, Carrier. It's fine. We'll get you some help. Dr. Stewart!
My pens. I've got to get my pens. My felt tip pens. I saved up for them.
Oh, forget your bloody pens. We're getting you out of here.
Pass her down.
As I'm holding this child, this sweet, beautiful child in my arms, I can't believe we got her out. A tiny child, alive in all this muck. I feel like I'm holding the baby Jesus in my arms. I feel so blessed. But we have so many others to try and find. We have to keep working.
My new job was ruined.
It's all right.
There are 5 of us. We can't afford another one. I'll get into trouble.
Don't worry, you won't get into trouble, I promise. Now, let's get you to the hospital.
We didn't know what to expect. Had no idea the scale of the thing. It's like a blitz. Like a bomb had been dropped on the school. There's absolute chaos, and somehow I have to organize that chaos. So I set up an incident post at a police car on the colliery side of the incident to maintain communications with police headquarters by radio telephone. I then make a reconnaissance of the whole area above the school and manage to get my way round to the houses on the north side. Not only is Pentglass Junior School buried under approximately 20 to 30 feet of debris, but a large number of houses have been demolished and submerged under a pile of liquid mud. What are you doing, lad?
Looking for my sisters, sir.
Where are they?
They're in there, sir. Same as my cousins, my classmates, and my friends.
Leave it, lad.
No. I've got to find them, sir. My mum will kill me if I don't bring them home. She'll already be mad at me for getting my books and being late to school.
I'm sure she won't mind. Here, now you go back home
No,
now.
I wanted it.
Leave it to the adults, boy.
No, but the teachers have gone. Everyone has disappeared.
Tawella, Dafydd back. Get it, Gabby.
My sister!
Dafydd, lad, come with me. You can help with the buckets.
Yes, sir, Mr. Jones.
Now, lad, you join that team of men passing buckets down from the classrooms. And be careful. We're having to prop up beams as we go.
Yes, sir.
We need more bandages. Ask one of the volunteers.
Where have they all come from?
All around the country. Oh, and get some more blankets. We're running out.
Shh! Quiet! Keep digging!
Tip number 7. Spills over, flies down the hill, through the embankment and strikes Pentglass Junior and Senior School at 9:15 a.m. on the 21st of October, 1966. No one is found alive after 11 a.m. My body is found at 4 p.m.
Found another one.
That's my daughter! My Gwenny Bart.
Oh, Bryn.
We have to keep digging!
Everything is grey, covered in a layer of oozing snow.
Everyone is exhausted. Houses in the nearby street have been evacuated because of the flooding.
More bodies are pulled out.
It's starting to rain again.
You need to stop. What if the tip comes down again?
You're all in danger. You need to get down. We don't want to lose anyone else.
With the rain, it's only going to get harder. We have to keep going.
We accept the risk.
We'll keep digging.
A makeshift mortuary is set up at Bethania Chapel, and an officer of the Regional Crime Squad comes to take over the identification and handling of the bodies. The final death toll for the disaster was 144 lives lost. 28 were adults, the other 116 were children, mostly between the ages of 7 and 10.
Excuse me. We heard the bodies were being taken here to Bethania Chapel?
Yes, that's right, but you will need to wait in line.
What? Can't we come in?
I'm afraid we can only let in 2 at a time. There's just not enough room. We've had to bring out all the pews from storage so that we can fit the bodies on them. Now, who's next?
Me, Olwena Price. I'm looking for my
I'm
son.
sorry, we don't have any names yet, Mrs. Price. Sex?
Male.
Age?
12.
Right. Come with me, please.
Are there really children under all these blankets?
Yes.
But there's so many. How can there be so many?
Is this your son, Mrs. Price?
No.
This one?
No.
This one?
No. Do I really have to look at all of them?
It's the only way we can identify this. This one. Is this your boy, Mrs. Price?
Yes. Yes.
Name?
Thomas. Thomas Price. How can he be dead? He'd only just gone to school.
I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave now, Mrs. Price.
What? No, can't I stay with
I'm
him?
sorry, but there's just not enough room. You need to leave. We'll take care of the body for you. Coffins are on their way from Ireland already.
No, can't I just stay,
Price.
please? No, please, please. No, Thomas! No, please, Thomas!
It had taken several days for them to find me in the rubble. Some bodies weren't recovered for over a week.
They held a mass funeral a few days later, burying 80 of us together.
Thousands of people came to pay their respects.
The streets were silent, but for the sound of shuffling feet.
All the shops were closed, the doors of the pub were bolted, and normal life ceased.
We were buried in the shadows of the now depleted tip.
As the funeral singing began, the sound of hymns drifted down to the village below, where everyone shared in the sorrow.
Cause of death, multiple crush injuries and asphyxia. Gwen Jones. Cause of death, multiple crush injuries and asphyxia.
No, ma'am. Buried alive by the National Coal Board.
They have killed our children. You're just upset.
We all knew the tip was dangerous.
What could we have done?
We tried to warn the NCB. They didn't listen.
There must have been something. It's all right, Harriet.
There's nothing we could do. We're like worker ants to them. They're to die and be replaced. We have to feed our families. We have to think of our children.
But there aren't any more children.
Don't you think I know that, boy? I dumped them out myself.
Bryn's right. The NCB is responsible for this. They knew about the spring at the top of the mountain. They knew the tip was dangerous. They didn't listen to us. Well, now the whole world is looking at Aberfan. People are listening. People want answers. The National Coal Board doesn't have everyone wrapped around their little finger anymore. This is our chance to get them to answer for what they've done.
These are the words you will put on their death certificates. Buried alive by the National Coal Board.
They're the ones to blame.
An inquiry was held to investigate the disaster. Lord Robins, the head of the NCB, said they weren't to blame, that they didn't know about the spring in the mountain that caused the slurry. But that couldn't be true. Everyone knew about that spring.
Lord Justice Edmund Davies was appointed to lead the inquiry. He toured the village shortly after the disaster. I went over and told him, I said, don't let some stranger take you up the mountain and pull the wool over your eyes. If you go up with a local man who knows the real facts. That spring at the head of the mountain has always been there. They can't pretend they didn't know about it. They did.
The inquiry took public evidence for 76 days, with 136 testifying witnesses. After nearly a year, the tribunal published its report. It stated,
Blame for the disaster rests upon the National Coal Board. This blame is shared, though in varying degrees, among the National Coal Board headquarters, the Southwestern Divisional Board, and certain individuals.
The legal liability of the National Coal Board to pay compensation for the personal injuries, fatal or otherwise, and damage to property is incontestable and uncontested.
It is the tribunal's strong and unanimous view that the Aberfan disaster could and should have been prevented.
The report tells not of wickedness, but of ignorance, ineptitude, and a failure in communications.
Ignorance. Ignorance on the part of those whose sole duty it was to look after the sighting, the control, and the daily management of the tips. Bungling ineptitude on the part of those who had the duty of controlling and supervising them. And failure. Failure on the part of those who had the knowledge about the factors that affected tip safety and who failed to communicate that knowledge and failed to see that it was applied.
It was a victory. One of the largest companies in Britain had been found guilty of their crime. We thought we'd won. That David had defeated Goliath.
But nothing happened. The NCB was not prosecuted. None of their staff were sacked or demoted. Look at this.
Lord Robins, the head of the NCB, offered his resignation letter to the Minister for Power, who rejected it. He was all for show.
The NCB did offer compensation to the families, but it wasn't enough. Not enough to rebuild our homes and livelihoods.
Not enough to make up for the loss of their children.
And every day we looked up and the tip was still there.
Many people in the village were on sedatives.
But we did not take them when it was raining because we were afraid to go to sleep.
What if the tip came down on us again?
Children did not close their bedroom doors for fear they should be trapped.
We suffered terrible nightmares.
The stress and anxiety affected people's health.
Me and the lads would still go down to the pub and see the tip out the window. We didn't make jokes anymore. We wanted it gone.
So we lobbied the Secretary of State for Wales to have the tip removed. It hadn't been made safe. Nothing had been done.
We went into the Secretary's office and we dumped piles of slurry on his desk in protest.
The NCB fought for having to pay for any part of the removal.
But eventually, the government gave in.
We were forced to contribute £150,000 of our own money from the charity made to support us. The tip was finally removed 2 years after the disaster.
It was predicted that people would suffer heart attacks or that there would be a number of suicides, but neither of those happened. The families were too resilient for that. The worst was the blame.
We all knew the NCB were responsible, but we were the ones who had to live with the reality of what happened, the guilt of being alive.
The miners, we felt we were to blame for the tip. Well, we knew we didn't have any choice, but some of us still felt guilty.
Those of us who sent our children to school that day, some of them who didn't want to go, we blamed ourselves for their deaths.
Families who had lost children became bitter towards those that hadn't.
I had no one left to play with.
I blamed myself for allowing my sisters to die. Why hadn't I died instead?
We didn't go out to play for a long time because those who had lost their own children couldn't bear to see us.
We felt guilty for being alive. It's harder to be a man around here. You need to be tough. I grew up and became a miner, just like everyone else. Down here in the pit, it's all right, as long as I'm in company. I make sure to never go into the dark alone.
Some days would be so hard you would wander around like a ghost. But then the spring would arrive and the flowers would come up, and we would realise just how beautiful it was to be alive.
Eventually, we stopped the blame. Our story would not be about the NCB. It would be about us. How we fought for our children. How we looked after each other. Our strength and our pride helped us build a better Aberfan.
Over 50,000 people sent letters of condolence to us.
People from all over the world.
And over the next 5 years, many new health and safety regulations were made in all British industries following the Aberfan disaster.
They made a great many lives safer, and probably saved a good many too. But they were too late for our children.
The British people opened up their purses.
Over £1.5 million were raised.
And the funds were dedicated to the relief of those who suffered in the disaster and to helping all of the children who were affected.
It went a great way towards rebuilding the village, but it didn't help everyone.
The greatest thing it helped us with was the garden.
The Pancras Junior School Memorial Garden had been built in the remains of the school.
It was opened in 1973 by Queen Elizabeth
It is listed as a place of special historic interest in Wales.
and is recognised as being a site for great national importance and significance.
At the 50th anniversary of the disaster, we held a memorial ceremony here.
We reminded people of the lessons to be learned from the disaster.
Public accountability,
Responsibility.
Competence, incompetence.
And transparency.
That Aberfan is proud and strong.
And whenever I come here now, an old man, and sit in the garden, I remember a tragedy that could have been avoided. I remember a little Welsh mining village that fought to make the world listen. And I remember those we fought for.
Ir chai agarun, agalarun o'i koshli.
To those we love and miss so very much.
Well, this is a surprise. Didn't take you too long to move things around, did it, old girl? Never liked that bed over there, did you? Never liked that shirt either. Like to rescue it from the rubbish a couple of times. Oh well, nothing stopping you now.
Mom! Where are you?
I'm in the bedroom.
Alrighty. And, I see that you have started without me. You thought you said you were going to wait.
I was supposed to be here at 10 o'clock
I had to pop into work.
on a Sunday.
Yes, I had to pick up some papers. Look, I'm only half an hour late.
This time.
Oh, come on. You're not going to at least give this one to charity?
Well, who would want it?
Well, this sort of thing is in right now.
And you said I wasn't fashionable. Everything old is new again. Even me, old girl.
Well, whatever. Do what you want.
I'm just surprised that you're getting rid of it, is all.
Why?
Because it was his favourite.
The white shirt was my favourite. You buried me in it.
The white shirt was his favourite. That's why we buried him in it. I remember doing this with my mother.
Penalty we pay for outliving them.
Yes, not that your grandfather had much to go through. We buried him in the only suit he ever owned, and he was married in that. Had to cut the back of the jacket to get it to fit him. And then his dad took his work boots.
Really? He wanted a dead man's shoes?
They were brand new. Lasted for years.
Well, they were brand new. They lasted him for years.
I don't really remember Granddad.
Well, you were just a little girl when he died.
Now, Nana, on the other hand, I do remember. She had those balls of string above the kitchen sink.
She grew up with nothing and she never quite got over it. I remember the year that Christmas that your father and I gave her a new dinner set, but she never used it. Said it was too good. It was still in the box when we cleaned out the house.
Yeah, her funeral was really sad. There was hardly anyone there.
Well, she outlived everyone she knew. I should have had a church service for your father.
Why? It's not like he ever went when he was alive.
Well, he was just sceptical, that's all.
He was a bit more than just skeptical, Mum. When you're dead, girl.
I'm not so sure about that.
People say lots of things, it doesn't mean they believe all of them. Besides, it would have been nice for the people who came along. The church is more, I don't know, memorable. That chapel at the cemetery, it was just a room.
It was fine, and everyone enjoyed the wake.
The sandwiches were very nice.
Although I think Dad's friends were a bit more interested in the open bar. They had a good time.
Better time than me, that's for sure.
You can still smell cigarettes.
Oh, I must have gotten used to it over the years.
I'm dying for one now. Bloody things follow you into the grave. I suppose it's no smoking up there.
It doesn't need to be dry cleaned. Does Phineas do that?
I don't think so. Wait, how many was he smoking by the end? What was it, like 40 a day? I am amazed that he even made it to 65.
Well, his dad lived till 90 and he smoked like a chimney. You know, your dad never smoked when we first started going out. He only started after he worked 5 months up the bush.
Now that was hard work, girl.
Learn Italiano for beginners.
We were going to go to Italy.
Really? When?
When we got married. Then Mark came along.
Ah, and then me.
Yes, then you.
What's in here? Oh, it's just a bunch of old notebooks. There must be half a dozen of them.
Oh, it's just one of your dad's projects.
It's just words. Just pages of words.
Yeah, he got it into his head to collect all these foreign words.
Why?
I don't know. They just interested him, I suppose. You know what he was like.
Ngunnawal?
Watch out below! It's what the Scots used to yell out when they emptied the chamber pots out the window.
There's just no logic to any of them. I mean, what, like avocado? That's not a foreign word.
It's Aztec. For testicle.
You're not thinking of getting rid of them, right?
I did everything.
I know, but this seems like the sort of thing that families should do.
Well, you can have them if you want.
You are very different people.
Well, there needs to be a realist in every marriage, and that definitely wasn't your father. Head full of dreams and a shed full of unfinished projects. Oh, gosh, he used to drive me crazy. There'd be bills spread all over the kitchen table, and he'd be talking about making lemonade out of lemons. So annoyingly optimistic about everything.
The optimist invented the aeroplane. It's the pessimist who invented the parachute. World needs all types, girl.
What do you think?
Well, it's a man's shirt.
That kind of thing doesn't matter these days. Besides, it's nice material, kind of like Ralph Lauren. I'd probably have to take it in a bit.
Well, you could take it in yourself if you learned how to sew.
Oh, wait a minute. This was the shirt that he wore that night that he won karaoke down at the pub. Oh, what was it?
Love lifts us up when we're young.
Where eagles fly into mountainsides.
Why couldn't you get the words right when they're on the screen?
I wasn't wearing my glasses.
Oh, he was just terrible, wasn't he?
So bad.
Made up for it in spirit, though. Hang on. Didn't you wash this?
Yeah.
Still beer stains on it.
Really?
Suppose they all have memories, huh? When's Mark coming to help pack up the shed?
On the weekend, and Michael's going to help him. He thinks we might be able to sell most of the tools because a lot of them your dad never used. He'd buy anything if it was on special.
You never know when you're gonna need the right tool.
I think I should give Mark his wedding ring.
What? You didn't bury him with it?
I told you that.
No, you didn't.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Well, he had no use for it anymore.
He wore it for 40 years.
I got it off his hand because his fingers were a lot fatter than when we got married. I never thought to ask. What? Don't look at me like that. We would have done him under the ground. At least Mark will be able to use it now we've got that same-sex marriage. But besides, you wanted him to have it. You liked Michael.
I did. Good footballer.
I guess. It's just, I don't know, it's so weird to think of him just lying there without it.
I wouldn't mind.
Do you miss him?
Of course, but probably not the way that you think. I miss him being around. Something you'd understand if you were still married.
Stop it! Mom, can we not do this right now? Look, you know, by the end of it, Tom and I were driving each other crazy. I mean, every little thing annoyed us.
If you're married long enough, those sorts of things don't matter anymore. All the projects you left unfinished around the house, all the piles of rubbish that you left stacked at the back of the yard.
That'll be worth a fortune when you sell.
You settle into comfortable spaces, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, those people on the telly, they tell you to keep the excitement in your marriage. But there's nothing wrong with predictability. Knowing there'll always be someone there beside you in the morning. Doesn't sound like much, does it?
Sounds sweet.
You're like your father, sentimental. When we first started going out, there were flowers and dancing and cards with little hearts on them and a postbox. He was terrified of being left alone. He'll be glad that he went first.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, girl.
You knew that you'd be able to cope.
Anyway, enough of that. We've got a job to do, and if we don't get it done soon, you'll be cleaning out my cupboard.
All right. Well, I'll take these out to the car, and I'll come back. Are you all right? You know, we should probably try to get on a little bit better now that he's gone.
We're fine.
I mean it, Mum.
We're fine.
There are things I miss. Your laugh. Oh, it was like it had been trapped deep inside for the longest time and then finally escaped. Oh, it had shake the walls and rattle the windows. I wish I could once again touch your hand, your cheek.
She probably thinks that I don't care. She doesn't understand. You have to go on. Oh, what am I going to do without you?
Look at the last page.
Cuore mio. My heart.
There's a bridge that connects the living and the dead. I'm here, girl. I'll always be here.
Yeah, can I have everyone off the bows? Guys, we've rehearsed this so many times. Stop watching the AFL Grand Final. No, I don't want to hear excuses. Come on. Oh my gosh, guys, we've gone over this again and again and again. We've rehearsed this. Sorry. We've gone over this so many times.